Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've tried a few pre-cooked food delivery services over the past few weeks, and out of all of them, I felt like Factor75 stood out the most. So before getting into it, I want to mention that while the food is very tasty and really feels freshly made, some diet preferences have more variety than others. So just as a quick example, the vegan and veggie options weren't as diverse as I'd hoped they'd be, but regardless, I'll be talking about how their entire process works. Then I'll give you my final impressions of Factor and what sets it apart from other similar services. So with all that in mind, let's get into it. Okay, so the sign up process is very easy. You can do it through their website or their app. So if you want to try it out, I'd recommend setting up your account using the link below for a nice discount on your first order. Then you can choose from 5 set meal preferences, which are chef's choice, which is well balanced, keto, which is low in carbs and high in fats, calorie smart, limited to 550 calories, protein plus, where they have more than 30 grams of protein, or vegan and veggie. So after going with what you prefer, you'll choose how many meals you'd like to be delivered for the week. So you need to order at least 4 meals a week, and the maximum that you can order is 18 meals. Also, the more meals you order, the cheaper the price per serving. Plus, you can order as many add-ons as you'd like, but at an extra cost. Then comes the fun part where you get to choose from Factor's large menu of around 35 lunch and dinner options that rotate on a weekly basis. And when I took a look at the recipes for the upcoming 2 weeks, I only noticed 3 to 5 repeated meals. So there's always over 30 new options to choose from each week. And if you're wondering how they decide on what dishes to make, that falls back to popularity and what ingredients are available at any given time. Now, a quick note for the vegans and vegetarians out there: although the food is great, there's not much variety when it comes to your preference. So to fill a box, you might end up double ordering 1 or 2 of the dishes. Now, it's not surprising that eating the same foods will get boring quickly. So I hope they'll add a rich variety for you in the future. And something I really appreciate about Factor is that you can order add-ons that include extra protein portions, veggie sides, breakfast options, energy balls and desserts, fresh juices, shakes, and smoothies. And this makes it much better than most other pre-cooked meal services that don't have much else on offer besides the meals themselves. One thing to note though is that Factor75 does not highlight meals that align with certain dietary restrictions, like gluten-free diets, for example. But on the plus side, they do provide other valuable information like allergens, nutritional information, a detailed description of each meal, and all the ingredients. Now, what I found impressive was how some of these meals have around 18 to 30 ingredients, all of which are easily identifiable. And ingredients are of the healthier variants, like their use of sea salt, coconut oil, and whole milk. And a great example of the variety is the chicken fried rice dish, which had 29 ingredients. I can't imagine buying upwards of 30 ingredients to make this meal myself, so Factor really does a good job saving me the time and effort of cooking something like that myself and failing miserably at it. Besides that, you can pause or skip any weeks you'd like, and you also get a free 20-minute consultation with their support team to help you figure out which meals best fit your needs and goals. And Factor is the only service I've seen that actually has this option, which goes to show how much care Factor put into their customer experience. Now, if you're having a hard time picking out which meals to go with, then they'll select them based on your set diet preferences that I mentioned earlier. But even then, you can still modify your choices anytime before the weekly cutoff, which is 11:59 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays. Okay, now when it comes to preparing the meals, all you need to do is heat them up by piercing the plastic film and putting them in the microwave on high for about 2 to 3 minutes, or remove the film completely and put it in the oven for 5 minutes or so, which is what I'd recommend if you have a few extra minutes for more even heating. Just make sure you remove the sauce containers from the meals that have them before heating them up, since those are not heat friendly. So the first meal that I had was chicken fried rice. The chicken was really tender and well cooked with the eggs and mixed veggies. Everything was very well seasoned without being too strong, and I really think that they nailed the balance of the food because I was tasting a little bit of everything with every bite. Honestly, all the ingredients blended so well together that this easily became one of my favorites. And the next meal was the black pepper and sage pork chop, and to put it simply, I loved everything about this dish. And out of all the pork chops that I've tried, this has to be at the top in terms of quality and taste. They easily melted into my mouth and had a nice charm to them. And the Brussels sprouts and broccoli were the cherry on top. I absolutely love this dish, and I can see why it's labeled as a top-rated meal. Next up was the mushroom and Swiss burger, which is a keto meal, meaning it's high in fat and protein, but barely has any carbs. The burger itself was absolutely amazing, and I could feel how tender it was the moment I took a bite. Now, it's a cheesy dish, but personally, I didn't mind that a lot. The mushrooms were well seasoned and felt very fresh, but I would have preferred a bit more salt on the kale with cheese. But regardless, it's still a very solid pick if you're into the keto diet. And finally, I had the chicken Alfredo pasta, and honestly, I was a bit hesitant to try this because I've gotten used to how dry and overcooked pasta can be if it's not fresh, but I was actually really surprised when I started eating it. It really felt like I was eating fresh. The chicken was super tender and easily broke apart, and the pasta was also perfectly cooked. Now, the dish isn't as flavorful as the other two, but it was still a great dish. Now, as for pricing, the cheapest price per meal you can get is about 11 bucks, but you need to order 18 meals a week to get it for that price. However, the most expensive option is 15 bucks for 4 meals per week, which is also the minimum amount you can order. Oh, and keep in mind that there's an $11 fee per delivery. So really, Factor is not exactly the perfect service. The lack of gluten-free certification might be an issue for those who can't consume gluten for health reasons, and their veggie, vegan, and pescatarian meals don't offer much variety either. And aside from this, if you're on a diet that doesn't really allow for seasoning, or if you're just looking to season the food yourself, then this might not be the best choice for you. But to be fair, what Factor excels at is making healthy food taste really great, and of course that requires some seasoning. Also, Factor does not currently serve wild-caught fish and only opts for farmed ones, which is something I hope they work on soon. But despite this, I appreciate that their meat comes from grass-fed and pasture-raised sources, and they ensure that their chicken is humanely raised. Having said that, Factor is absolutely fantastic for individuals, couples, or even families if the cost is not an issue. People who want to eat clean but don't have the time or skills to do so. Also, I actually felt really good and energized after each meal, and I was never feeling bloated or sluggish, which is a testament on its own to how healthy their dishes are. So all in all, if you're looking to have high quality, diet specific, ready to eat meals that taste great and require minimal effort, then Factor is well worth the price. And that's it for today's video. Again, if you want to check out these services for yourself, you'll find in-depth reviews as well as discounts in the description down below. And feel free to comment below if you guys have any questions. And of course, like and subscribe if you found this video to be helpful, or if you'd like to stay up to date with our future videos, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.